y'all, and welcome to the Ladywing Designs channel. My name is Zakia, and we are back. Oh my gosh, finally. It's only been 2 weeks, but from the amount of things I've been doing, it's gonna seem like it's been way longer than that. So welcome back to anyone that is a returning viewer. It's so good to have you here again. Welcome to any new viewers. I hope that you like all the crazy I got to show you. It's not really crazy. Well, it is kind of crazy because this is exactly why I have so many WIPs. I just keep starting things, but whatever. There are some finishes in there too. Yeah, so it's Wednesday, October the 21st, 2020. It's 11 in the morning, so let's get the show on the road. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks. Okay, so I tried to record last week, y'all. So I forgot or was waiting or something on Wednesday. So then I was like, okay, I'll just record on Thursday. And then I think it was. So then I was recording, and it was like 20 or 30 minutes in, and I was just like, no, what are you, like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. It was ridiculous. So I was like, no, trashing it, we're just gonna start over. And I was kind of working on a time crunch because I knew that my boyfriend would be coming for lunch. Well, long story, it's not really a long story, but long story short, I started over and then got like a few minutes in, and then he was here for lunch early anyway. So, and after that, I was gonna like, oh, I'll come back when he leaves, and I just never felt like it again. And last week, so if you don't know, I live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama right now. And okay, so the University of Alabama is here, big football school. And anyway, so last week we had a home game, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in previous videos I work in the stadium in the premium areas, which are still a thing this season. So sorry y'all, I'm sweating. It's hot again here, and I'm basically just refusing to turn my air back on. So you might see me looking a little shiny today, and that's why. And I can't open the windows because then all the heat just comes in and it gets worse. So bear with me. Anyway, we had a home game this past weekend, and I worked Saturday, of course, but I also worked Friday before. It's a different thing. Okay. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I said this last week in the 2 videos that you didn't get to see. But basically, I work in the premium areas, and the Friday before home games, the box holders are allowed to like bring stuff into their rooms, like alcohol, decorations, birthday cakes, things like that, like that you can't bring in on game day. So, yeah, I think I've worked servicing in the past few years, really. But yeah, so I'm working servicing again. I didn't work it for the first game, but I'm going to be working it the rest of the season. So that means Friday and Saturday is now like a work thing. So anyway, see, that did kind of turn into a long story. Oh no, that was a different long story. That was about boyfriend. This one is about working. So long story short, yeah, I tried to record Thursday, that didn't happen. And then Friday I was busy and too tired by the time I got off work. And then Saturday we had a night game, so I didn't even get off work until 1 a.m. Which was fine. It was fabulous. It went really well. But I was exhausted. So yeah, so I just said, I will wait until this next week. It'll be okay. Well, y'all, I already had a lot. I had a decent amount to show. I have the show notes that I had written like for last week. It wasn't that bad last week, but there's definitely a ton of stuff to show now. Um, you know, I've been saying the last couple episodes there's been more knitting. It's fall. My knitting is back in season. I'm just loving it right now. It has gotten even worse. Worse. Um, okay, so enough of this. Should we just, oh wait, no. One thing that I did want to say at the beginning, kind of admin stuff. Two things about YouTube comments. One, I still have not answered any. From like the last, I guess, 4 weeks, I suppose. Yeah, from the last two videos, which are over like a 4 week span. But regardless, know that I have actually read most of them. I was reading a lot of them this morning. I just haven't responded, so, which is ridiculous because I was going through and I was reading and I should have been hitting the heart so you guys would at least know that I am reading your comments. But yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I don't know if it'll be today or not. I'm gonna try not to put too much on myself because I know I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this one because I didn't write down any links or anything. Oh, that's another thing I want to say. So yeah, that was one thing about the comments, and then the other thing, thank you all so much for leaving the comments and for chatting with me. Um, y'all are so supportive, and yeah, it's just, thank you. I super appreciate it. Sorry, my phone screen lit up because I got a notification. Oh, it's fine. You're here for all the crazy, right? I don't care about that. Look at that. Claire put up a new nap time stitching video for today. I have the last 3 to catch up on from her, so that's gonna be super fun. I hope that this one was able to make it to 30 minutes again. She's a mom of 2 little boys, hence the nap time stitching. Yeah, anyway, okay. Hopefully that made it to like the half-hour mark because then I'll have an hour and a half to hang out with Claire later. Okay, and this is Claire from Beautiful Clarity. I'll mention her again later. Okay. Sorry. At some point, I'm gonna look at my phone again. Depending on what plays out, there might be a cut at some point. No idea. I'm sure I'll tell you. Anyway, okay, let's just jump into all the things. I was gonna say something else, but y'all have already forgotten it. That's what I get. I got distracted. It's the things about YouTube. I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay. Anyway, maybe it'll come back to me. Let's start with finished objects. Everything, like all my knitting stuff is over here. And essentially all my cross stitch is over here. I didn't do that on purpose. It ended up that way. Whoops, see, here we go. Text message. Sorry. Oh, okay. We're gonna pause because my mom needs to call me. Okay, so we're back. It is hours later. My mom called me. We stayed on for a couple hours, and then I got off with her because boyfriend stopped by for his lunch break. And then he left, and I ate. I ate before and after his lunch break today. Anyway, it doesn't. I usually eat during his lunch break, but anyway. Yeah, so after he left, I decided I would just sit, and I felt like stitching, and I watched some floss tube, and now we're back. And it's still very hot. I'm pretty sure I am hotter now than I was when I first started the video, so whatever. It's almost 6 in the evening now. I can't deal with this. I was just getting used to fall. So I think we were at the point that I was actually going to start talking about some crafting now. So let's do I want to just do all the FOs first? I guess. I feel like I kind of, yeah, okay. Let's just do all the FOs first. So, where is it? Okay. So, Frankenstein, do you like my... Some of that just lives there. I can't help it. Okay, so the first thing, on the 10th of October, so a couple Saturdays ago now, part 3 of Frankenstein, the Frankenstein Mystery Sal came out. So here it is. I yet again finished it on the first day that it came out, which I'm not mad about it. I can't help it. I really can't. I mean, y'all know if you've been here for a while, I am generally not good at staying on track with stitch alongs. I frequently get behind and then they're over for months and oh look, I finally finished mine, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't really keep up with Sal's anymore. And I'm just loving this so much. The monochromatic stitching lately is, I'm just loving it. So part 3 was these 2 blocks, and the decorative border comes out on Halloween. So I'm super excited. I'm so excited. So there, close up is part 3. I'm loving it. And there's the whole thing again. So as you can see, it's just the decorative border around here. And that is what we will get on the 31st. Loving it. Can't wait to have this done, because it's going to look awesome. I've really been enjoying this one. And I am stitching that on 32 count gray linen with DMC 3809. I love it. That's all I can say about it. I just love it. Okay, the other, do I want to do that? Okay, no I don't. I'm just gonna finish all of the cross stitch now, and then we're gonna talk about knitting, because I've really been in a knitting mood anyway. Okay, not this one. There's gonna be the latest cross stitch project that I have. We're gonna talk about at the end, because I started it yesterday. Maybe we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If I reach for it and we talk about it now, then we'll just talk about it now, and it'll be okay. So, first up that I'm gonna show you here. Okay. This is what I'm stitching for the hashtag Giant Ass Pumpkin Sal that I'm hosting, and this is Happy Halloween by Doreen Jones. It's in the October 2020 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. So that's what the project looks like. It's full coverage, which makes me very happy. I said that I was going to show this. This is what I do when I have projects like this that have longer lists. It just makes it easier to find my colors. So I wrote Happy Halloween and listed all the colors, and then when I started this project, I'll hold it up in a second. When I started it, I just did all of the 310 in the borders, so I wasn't really using this for anything else just yet, but as you can see, some of the colors have their symbols next to them for the chart, and that is because I looked at the pattern and was trying to figure out what colors I was going to need for this floor part down there to get started on that. So yeah, so I wrote the symbols next to it as I was looking at the chart, and now whenever I am like, okay, let's get colors together, sorry, I don't know what that arm jerk was. So now whenever I look at this and I'm like, oh, let's get the colors together to start the floor, I'll already know what colors I need because I basically marked them. So there's that. I'm stitching this in hand, so to roll it up, the needle minder that I'm using is Hello Pumpkin. There you go. Hello Pumpkin needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And don't stab myself with the needle. So this is where I'm at. I don't remember. I don't remember where I was when I showed it to y'all last. I think I had just started the orange in the border. Got it? Okay. So it's curling because of me stitching in hand with it. But you can see there, my hands aren't big enough, y'all. You can see that I have now finished that orange in the border all the way around. And so now I've started the gray there. And I'm going to work all of that around the border. And then the rest of the boxes, so you can see, I have a picture. So the gray and the orange alternate, so I don't have to think too much about that. And then this other color in both of those borders, that's the same color on both sides. So it'll be super easy. I'm just going to focus on finishing that outside border first, and then I will come down here and start in with filling all of that in. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this one come together. It's been fun to work on since I'm basically stitching it monochromatic right now, so it's fitting the spot that I needed to fill. This is on 32 count Light Mocha linen, and needle minder, and I'm using the called for DMC. So there is that. Okay. And then next project is Relentless by Ink Circles. So I worked maybe like one day on Happy Halloween, 1 or 2 days really after I last recorded. I just worked on the border. I didn't do that much on it really. Okay, so next, I keep all the stuff for Relentless in this Kindle size book sleeve from Love More Studio. It's got my pattern, little Floss Buddy flip over in here from Bags Plus. Two of my absolute favorite things. Thank you, Bindi. That's all I can say to that. Thank you, Michelle Bindi, for putting us on to these fabulous things. Yeah, I just love it. Just love it. Okay, so anyway, those are the colors for Relentless. The green's in the bottom of here. And this, I am just gonna finish those 3 stitches. And then okay, there we go. I didn't realize I still had a needle in here. So this is where it's at. I am so in love with this project, y'all. So this is this is Relentless by Ink Circles. It was put out in 2015 as like an ode. Wow, words just disappeared from my brain. So to speak, that's what I was trying to say. I'm like, it's a common phrase. I can't think of it. Do the glasses make me look smarter? I hope so. I hope they make me look like I've got it together. But anyway, so this was put out kind of as an ode to gay marriage being legalized in 2015. And I started this with a few other people back during June for Pride Month. This was my Pride project for this year. I'm in love with it. So the original pattern I've already made changes to it. There's added browns in here to represent black and brown people, and the arrows, one in each corner, has a line to represent transgender people. And then I'm gonna have a color conversion for transgender to represent the transgender flag also. But yeah, here it is. I'm just so in love with it, y'all. So all of the warm colors are done. I'm working in rainbow order, color completing these. I did the whole outline first, and then I did red, the browns, and then orange and yellow. And as you can see, I've just barely started filling in the green. So I'm halfway done with the colors because, yeah, there are four cool colors. So green, the light blue that I changed out, the dark blue, and then the purple color. So there are four colors left. It's looking real, real slim. That I'm going to finish this by the end of October, which was kind of my goal. It still is kind of my goal. I just can't put my knitting down long enough to get back to this. So, I am going to be watching Claire after I finish recording this and getting it uploading and such. So, hold please. I just show notes and things. So, y'all, when you're recording and you need to write down show notes or something, make sure that your mouse on your computer is not just sitting on the stop button. I just stopped my recording, so now I'm gonna have, it's fine. Now there are 3 clips to this video, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, this project, I'm using all DMC. You can go to, I haven't really put the conversion anywhere just yet. It doesn't matter. I'll link it. As I always say, when I finish it, it'll be on Instagram for the whole world to see. But yeah, this is on 32 count Light Mocha Belfast linen, the same exact fabric as Happy Halloween. And yeah, there it is. All the warm colors are done. I'm so excited. This heart needle minder is from Vicky Stitchin' Button, and this one I got off of 1884 Stitchery. So that is that. Okay. So, we're going to try this again. The mouse is not over the stop button. Hopefully I remember what that stands for later. It's fine. I thought that I got like all of my show notes, all my links like written down, but I missed like the needle minders. I always forget to write those down. Okay, next. What's next? Oh, right. I'm doing all my cross stitch. I have show notes. I wrote those for a reason. Okay, next, I worked just a little bit on Change of Seasons. This is a pattern by, where's my tablet? This is, so it's Change of Seasons 2 by Mystic Stitch. And I started this on Leap Day this year with Alma from Alma's Little Wonders. And we're supposed to, this is our Leap Day Sal that we're doing to get, not right now. Not right now. Not right now, Pattern Keeper. You'll have to update later. Okay. We started this as our Leap Day Sal project with each other. And we're giving ourselves until 2 leap years later, so 2028, to have this project done. And maybe Alma's, or rather, Alma's doing much better than I am on getting things done. But, you know, anything's possible. At some point, I will be in the mood for this project, and I will start stitching on it way more. So that is Change of Seasons. Change of Seasons 2. Yeah, so we both started up here in the autumn section, which I'm not mad about. If you know me, fall's my favorite season, and it's my birth season. Okay, so here's where I am. Now, it's been forever since you've seen it, and the last time that you saw it, I think pretty much I just did like stitches in here. So y'all can totally see like my neighbors leaving and stuff. It's fine. I'm gonna have to close the windows soon because it's getting dark now. Close the blinds. The window's closed. Anyway, that's where I am. Sorry, we're running out of light here. Yeah, it's still just a giant 3856 blog. That's blob, not blog. And that's the color that I'm using right now. That's it. just that one color. It was to save money, and now it's fine. It's fine. I just need to work on it. My current goal with it right now is to finish. I think I have just over 1,000 stitches left to finish the national park on it, and that's part of a year-long challenge this year with Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook. They're a Facebook group. Okay, so I just have one more cross-stitch project. Well, two more. I'm just going to go ahead and show you my new project as well. Get it all over with. So that's the pattern. Can't show you that. So I'm sure that many of you have seen the Zimmerman coverlet pattern from Modern Folk Embroidery that was inspired by a coverlet that has been passed down through Ellen Reed's family, and this is Ellen Reed of Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. She's just amazing. She's fabulous. Go watch her. All the people, shops, designers, all that stuff will be linked down below. And side note on that, do people use the show notes, like the links that I put down below? This is it. I'm not gonna be mad either way. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad. Period. I'm not gonna feel any type of way about it. I'm just curious. I don't mind like linking the things. I do make sure that I say them in every video because I know sometimes I will forget to link stuff anyway. So I make sure that I say everything, or try to make sure that I say everything. But yeah, let me know. I'm going to. I still have to put in the show note links for episode 14. Those are going to be like the same people, shops, Facebook groups, like split up that way. This episode, I think that I might list things more by project. I think. But regardless, let me know. Do people actually use the show note links that I leave down below? Because if not, I might stop doing that. Even if it's helping just one person, that's fine. I'll keep doing them. But I'm just wondering. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, so Zimmerman coverlet. And Ellen started a salve for it, naturally. And that started around, I think that also started around October 10th when Frankenstein came out. And that Thursday before, I was watching Michelle Bindy's live stream that she does every Thursday for her Stitch With Me. And I was like, okay, I have to start it. I'm going to do it on this fabric. What color do I do? So if you watched that episode, we went through this whole thing. They helped me pick out a color. It was fabulous. I was super excited. And then when I was putting some of the colors back that we had been talking about, I ran across 3721, which, naturally. Caroline, I hope you're watching this episode. I just thought about you with all of this burgundy gloriousness going on. So, anyway, 3721, I saw this, and I had like kind of glanced at it beforehand, and I was like, no, you know, I kind of want to do like something different. I wanted to pop just a little bit more. Whatever. So I was gonna go with the color that they had chosen, and then I saw this, and it was over. Like I was just sold. I was like, you know, I kept saying from the beginning I was thinking of burgundy. There you go. So that's what happened. But it's okay. I was like, I'm gonna still use the color that they chose for another monochromatic project, and I have already figured out what it's gonna be. That night we were also talking about because I was working on Relentless, and I was like, yeah, I need to figure out what my next ink circles is going to be, because Tracy Horner is one of my favorite designers. Well, I already know what that's going to be too. So, and I know what fabric I'm doing it on. So, I mean, I basically have everything I need to start except for the pattern. But we'll talk about it whenever it happens, because I don't know when it's going to happen. But just know that that's a thing. pause because I just want to go ahead and close the blinds now. So enough of the overture here. This is where I am on the project. So again, pardon the super weird lighting. It's mostly because I have been, and it was the same way with Change of Seasons too. You can tell I've been stitching in the ditch or in the well. So I'm loading my Q-snap where the fabric is, you know, you can tell it's more sunken in, and it's flat across the back. It makes it easier. I do this a lot when I'm really close to edges like this, because it makes it easier for me to weave in my ends on the back. But anyway, so this is where I am on this project. I'm loving it. Like I said before, monochromatic stitching right now is just, I love it. I'm loving it so, so, so much. And one of the things that makes me super happy about this project is that my Marauders map grime guard from Silver Moon Sewing was not being used. So, yeah, beige fabric, beautiful burgundy stitching, and my grime guard matches. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. And I know some of y'all out there get it. I'm not super big about matching things like that when it comes to my stitching, but is this not like a perfect picture? Like, giant burgundy shirt on. That is Gilmore Girls, so it's like another thing I love. I love it. So, anyway, yeah, I just love this. Okay, see, my brain went blank again. What do I need to tell you? So this is a needle minder that I got from a Michelle Bindi auction. I, I'm not sure. Just, I went on Etsy. I don't know if you'll necessarily find any more of these. There were a few more floating out there in the universe back, I mean, months ago, maybe a year ago now. But I just searched geometric needle minder on Etsy, and I found a few more. So you might be able to find some floating around there. And then the fabric that I'm using is 36 count sand from Picture This Plus. I got it in the fabric package from my good friend Teresa. So there's that. Loving it. I need to work on it more. But that's what I've gotten done. So I'm enjoying it. Okay, there's that. And then, no, it's right here. So yesterday was Tuesday, I went to the grocery store, well, Walmart to be specific. I went to Walmart to grocery shop and get all the things. And I generally will always make a trip by the yarn aisle, even if I'm not in search for anything, because it's the yarn aisle. Like, I have to. And I usually will look at the kits and things that they have at the end, at one side for the cross stitch kits. I do the same thing whenever I go to Michael's or Joann's. I always look at the kits. And I saw this one, and immediately I just had to have it. I already have a plan for it. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know if they watch or not. So, but yeah, it's not for me. It's for someone else. Yeah, the cross stitch community has made me fall even more in love with cats. At this point, I might be getting a cat before I get a dog. Yeah, which means my mom won't be visiting either of her children later in life. My mom doesn't do cats, and we never had pets growing up because my parents would have had to take care of them too. Like, we wouldn't have been responsible enough to do things. Anyway, whatever. Valid point. Valid reasoning behind not getting us a pet. I think I wanted one more than my brother. But anyway, my mom doesn't do cats. She's fine with dogs. She just doesn't do cats. So my brother has always said if he does get a pet, it's going to be a cat. And so my mom's response has always been, I guess I won't be visiting you. Anyway, yeah, neither of us have, I mean, I have my apartment, but like, I'm not going to get a pet because I'm not going to pay pet fees right now. So it's fine. None of this has like come to fruition yet. It'll be interesting when it does. Regardless, I saw this kit, thought of a friend, and I had to have it, and it was only $5. Can't beat that. So there is what it looks like. It's a cat, and it's placed in the hoop to look like it's peeking over the edge of the hoop, and it says meow. The kit is by Dimensions. So, I mean, obviously I've already taken everything out, but they give you the floss, and that's the color I'm working with. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. Like, lots of kits will give you, well, I won't say lots, but I mean, you know, kits will give you floss cards and things, but I was super happy when I saw this. Like, so happy, I cannot even tell you. So I took the liberty to put the symbols for each color on here, and then there's a blend that when I show you, I've already finished the blend. But I made a little slot for it too, because there was I made the slot for it before I ever started stitching, before I ever got to the blend. But while I was stitching it, I did actually end up putting it on there, so it worked out. But yeah, so you can see they have their like number codes for the colors. I just put the symbols, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for right now. I had something else to say, but I'm not sure that's gonna apply. So anyway, there's that. Okay, project. So again, I'm stitching in hand, and you get 14 count Aida with the, I'm using everything from the kit. So this is 14 count Aida, white Aida, and the floss that they use is not DMC, but it's enjoyable. It's good. So I am using my egg needle minder from Top Knot Stitcher to hold my fabric since I'm stitching in hand. And that is what I have so far. I had less than this. I was still actually working on the blend at first, but you know, between all the interruptions and things that I was doing, I got a lot more work done. So let me come in close here. I am finished. So this gray color, this light gray color was what I started with, and that color is almost done. There's a little bit of it in each of the ears. So anyway, I did what I could reach when I had first started, and then that's when I started on the blend. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that it's a blend. Maybe if I hold it at more of an angle, because it sometimes just kind of looks black. I think you can kind of see there that it is a blend. Yeah, it's a blend between the black and this gray color that you see solid there. So anyway, it'll look really good. You can actually see the blend, of course, on the photo, and it just makes it look super natural, not quite like blockish. Yeah, anyway, so here's where I'm at right now. I'm so enjoying it. So as you can see, I've started on this solid gray now. All the blend is done, and we're still going. I love it. I love it. I'm super excited. So yeah, there's that. It's working out well. And then they also give you the hoop to finish it in. I guess you could also stitch it in this, but I'd rather stitch in hand than stitch in a hoop. And it's Aida, so like it's still starchy because they haven't washed it before they put it in here or anything. So I'm working on it. Yay! I'm really enjoying this. This has been pretty much the crafting that I've done today. I've been doing a ton of knitting over the last week now, a little over a week now, and this was one of those things that I actually like. I've put down the knitting to stitch, so I will probably be going right back to that when I finish here. No, I won't, because I said I was gonna watch Claire. We'll see. I want to watch. I really would like to work on Relentless while I watch Claire, but I might end up just working on the cat. Oh, that's one thing that I totally didn't mention. Happy belated birthday to Claire. I would have been less days belated if I'd recorded last week, but that's okay. Her birthday was last week on the 12th, and yeah. So I know she had a great day. She talked about it on one of her Stitch With Me's when she came back and all, but yeah. Happy belated birthday, Claire. Whenever you get to this, because she's behind on floss too, which totally understand. I'm just now like actually caught up. Yeah. So that is one of the reasons why I got Relentless back out during October, because it's Claire's birthday month. So okay. Oh, that's who I wanted to add to the thing was Top Knot. So many people. It's pretty much all the needle minders that I forgot. So that is all of the cross stitching. Okay, since we're finishing all the cross stitch, should I just talk about my cross stitch plans? Relentless. I want to work on it. The cat. Already talked about it. So the only other thing, that's why I'm doing this, because the only other thing cross stitch wise to talk about is plans. I'm just going to show you empty fabric without telling you anything. So this is, I was in a subscription for just cross stitch for 2 years. One of my, okay, I refer to her as my niece, but technically she's a cousin. But you know, the age difference, like I don't think of her as I don't think of her as a cousin. She's just so young. Like that little family unit, their kids, I call them my nieces and nephews. It can't be helped. But yeah, whenever I tell other people that, they're like, "What? Your brother has kids?" No, he doesn't. Neither of us have kids. They're technically my cousins. Anyway, the daughter in that family unit is in Girl Scouts, and I guess 2 years ago now, she had, you know, they were raising money for things, and they had a bunch of magazine subscriptions on there, and they happened to have just cross stitch, so I said, heck yeah, I will support you and get cross stitch magazines. So yeah, I went through and I like found all of the ones from this year. Anyway, I think the subscription just ended. I might rejoin it next year. Money's a bit tight, so I'm not quite sure yet. But anyway, long story long to say, I was going back and gathering up the ones from this year and looking through, because I had some marked that I wanted to stitch, so I looked through them. And this one is in the August 2020 issue of Just Cross Stitch, like I said. This one with the kites is kind of cute, actually. See, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to stitch it because the kites are actually making me think of Charlie Brown. And it's just kind of cute. Okay. Anyway, one thing at a time. I might have to stitch that one out of here next, though. Plus, I've still got like 2 other designs out of the autumn one that I want to stitch. I have got to move faster. I gotta stitch faster. So this is Merry Mermaid by, try not to show you the pattern here. This is by Nicoletta Ferrado, words, sorry. Nicoletta Ferrado of Nikki's Creations. So, there is Merry Mermaid. And I don't know why, but I don't know. This is one of those patterns, like I looked at it and I was like, I like it. and it's simple, and it's a mermaid, and like I don't think I have any mermaids actually, and mermaids are such a popular like thing in cross stitch, especially with Mirabilians and stuff. I don't know, I like it. So I'm thinking that I wanna stitch that, and the DMC that it calls for, um, I think I have all of those colors. So I think that was one of the reasons too that I was like, yeah, I want to stitch this because I already have the colors. Um, I don't know what fabric they used. Oh, they used 32 count Old England linen by Nikki's Creations. So I have, remember these projects? Yeah, so that same piece of fabric. Um, I was thinking probably I can probably fit the project up here, up here. So this is 36 count Legacy from Picture This Plus, again from the fabric package. Yeah, I'm right, Legacy from Picture This Plus. So I think I'm gonna stitch it on this. I don't know when I'm gonna start it. Ooh, mermaids. That could be like somebody's Halloween costume. So maybe I'll stitch this on Halloween. I feel like, she says, as we all tend to do at some point in our stitchy journeys, I feel like I could stitch this in one day. But seriously, I feel like I could stitch this in one day. Um, Plus, I also would like to use this fabric for No New Worlds by Armada Design. No, yes, no, no, no. Ardith Designs. Wrong. Okay, yeah. Woo, wrong person. Yeah, so I also was thinking about stitching the No New Worlds pattern from Ardith Designs on here, um, with some fancy floss, like in a variegated thread. So maybe both of those things will happen. I'm not quite sure, but we're gonna see what I can do. We shall see. Maybe yeah. The mermaid I think I'm gonna do on Halloween. See? Thanks, y'all. You just helped me talk myself into that. Fabulous. I'm not mad about it. Make no mistake. Oh, stuff's about to topple. Okay, shall we talk about some knitting? Oh my gosh, y'all. I have some knitting. I got a lot of it. So also yesterday, this was before the cat got started, and I might have even been able to hold off and just had gone back to knitting or a different project or something. But I finished this knitting project and I was like, you get to start something now. So I knit the, okay, pause. Let's just start from the beginning here. One of my absolute favorite YouTube channels to watch, four of my favorite people in the entire world. I love them so much. I've been watching for a few years now, and when I first started, it was like close enough to their beginning that I just watched all of their episodes. Highly recommend. They're hilarious. They make beautiful things. Um, and you get to watch their like designing, knitting journey as a family. So anyway, I'm talking about Cozy Up Knits. They are four sisters from Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard Jamie say that, so just rolls off the tongue. But yeah, oh my gosh, I just love those ladies so 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 much. Jamie, Sarah, Katie, and Chrissy. They are four biological sisters. Yeah, anyway, so they design patterns. They've been doing that for a few years now. And one of the patterns, I basically want to make almost everything they've designed at this point. So seriously, go check them out. They're on Ravelry, they're on Lovecrafts, they're on Ribbler, maybe? I haven't checked that one out, so I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I just remember Jamie saying it in the last episode, so yeah, that's a thing. But anyway, yeah, so one of their patterns is the Fits the Whole Fam hat, and it is designed for you to use 3 strands of fingering weight yarn held together. So you're stitching, or I mean, yes, you're knitting with 3 strands of yarn as 1 strand. I'm sure that made sense the first time. Anyway, if it didn't, you can see there, like, each little knit stitch is 3 strands of yarn. You're holding them all together. It makes it as if you're working with a thicker yarn, and the project takes way less time. So, and it's going to be super warm. So anyway, it's called Fits the Whole Fam Hat. When you go to the pattern pages, wherever, the pictures show Sarah wearing it, one of the sisters, and I can't remember whose child it is. It's one of their children. But anyway, it's a young child wearing the same exact hat, and it fits the whole fam, essentially. Because it's, as you can see, it's super stretchy. It is 1x1 rib, and this is a free pattern, is the other thing. It's a free pattern. Y'all, jump on it. So it's just 1x1 rib. You do some decreases up here at the top, and I just love it. It looks the same way all the way around. And when I wove in my ends, I wove them in so that I can basically wear it on whichever side, because they look exactly the same, so it's not really going to make a difference. Yeah, so I absolutely loved this pattern. It was super mindless. For some people, 1x1 rib with having to change the yarn is not necessarily mindless, but for me it is. I loved it so much. So these are, okay, first off, I used my trusty Chowgu needles, and the pattern calls for you to knit the first few inches in a US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter needle, and then switch to a US 10, which is a 6 millimeter. I just knit the whole thing in the 9.5. I didn't switch needles because I didn't think I would like the fabric if I went up a needle size, and honestly I might. I feel like it would probably still be okay, but it fits great just in the one needle size. So I've already planned on doing a second one. I am waiting on my mom to get back with me for if the colors look okay together or not. If I don't think I've mentioned it, but my mom is my color guru. She pretty much helps me with most color decisions. Thanks, Mom. Although I don't think she watches these still, but that's fine. So anyway, these are the 3 colors that I put together. Are you surprised? I know, right? It just, like, you can see it, but it's like, what? Really? It's those colors? So this is, and 2 of these I still have tags for. I saved them up here. Okay. So this is from a business ran by another 2 of my absolute favorite people in the world. Chelsea and Sue of Legacy Fiber Arts. This is from way back when, because this is the first time that they ever dyed these colors, is when I bought this. This was from their Gilmore Girls collection, and this is the Kirk Gleason colorway. Just gorgeous. So it's on their steel toes base, 75/25 merino nylon, superwash merino. Anyway, I used it for socks. It's gone in blankets. Anyway, there's that color. And hold, as I'm doing this, I need to put my tags back. Okay. So that color. And then this next one is Mad Fuzzy. If you, has Marta, I don't know if Marta's put out an episode in a while now. I don't remember her saying she was gonna stop podcasting. I don't think she did. Maybe just life stuff, and she hasn't posted in a while. But I absolutely love watching Marta from Mad Fuzzy. That's spelled with 2 D's. She is in Maine, USA, and she started out on her podcast, and I still love all the things she makes, but she started out only knitting socks. Like, she was just a sock knitter. Um, and whenever people are like, oh, I need to start with simpler things, I always think about Marta, and I'm like, no, no. If you know that you want to knit socks or that you want to knit sweaters and that is what you want to knit, you're determined enough to figure out the techniques you need to make those items, go for it. Um, I always think about Marta because I mean, I don't know, I can't remember now what she started with and everything, but like, she was a sock knitter. So, you know, that's what she was always showing. So you can do what you're determined to do, y'all, which is something I need to remember myself. But anyway, Mad Fuzzy Yarns. This colorway is Tutti Frutti. I love it. It's her Pure Fuzzy base, which is 100% East Frisian wool. And this, so special things about this, this is from her first milling. So this yarn is, and it says it on the little logo here, this ribbon in the middle. The yarn is raised, milled, and hand dyed in Maine. So, yeah, the sheep grow up in Maine, they get sheared, and the fiber gets milled in Maine, and then Marta is in Maine, and she was hand dyeing them. So, yeah, I love it. Now, it is rougher than merino, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I love it. I made socks out of these, out of that. Um, and they don't bother my feet at all when I wear them. So I love it. And then the third color is this. And this I don't have a tag for, but it is Queensland collection in their Llama Lace Melange base, which was 100% llama. Superfine llama? Can't remember, but it's llama. Um, this was one of the colors in my exploration station. And another yarn that I absolutely love is it's super soft. You can see it's got a halo on it. Yeah, I love it. So I wrote down, I have it's basically a kitchen scale, but I have a scale that I use for yarn only. And I weighed what I had beforehand and weighed what I had after. And I basically used 25 grams of each color in this hat. And it took me less than a day. I'd looked at the clock when I finished it, and it had been like 18 hours, about 18 to 20 hours, roughly, from the time that I started this. And during that 20 hours, I wasn't knitting. That isn't like 20 hours of knitting. Keep in mind, I am a fast knitter, but it is Aran weight, basically, and it's up like Aran weight. I slept in the middle, like, all the things. So I went to the grocery store because I made myself finish this before I started the cat kit that I got. So, y'all, presents right here. And it's a stash buster. So, I love it. Okay, I had said that I was going to put it on my head. I've been gabbing for a few minutes, so hopefully you can see that. You can wear it with the brim rolled up. I'm not going to do that. More than likely, I don't really wear hats with brims and things. Me trying to look in the camera, but there it is. Basically, like I said, looks the same all around. I love it. Yeah, you can fold up the brim. I'm not going to put it back on because it's hot, y'all. I'm sweating. But if I fold up the brim, it comes down like flush on my head, and it's a beanie. So seriously, I love it. And at first I thought that I wasn't going to knit as long as they tell you to in the pattern before you start your decreases, but I did, and I'm glad I did. I will say too that when I was like almost there, and I was thinking about if I wanted to not knit as long. I was far enough away from the edge that I put the hat on my head, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not too much past my head right now. So if I had actually cast on at that moment, it would have just been a beanie. So y'all, listen to the pattern. You may have to go a little bit longer if you have like more hair or whatever. They do just right it for one size, but you know, fits the whole fam. It is super stretchy, so you might need to like use some scraps and make one, and kind of figure out what you need to do. But hey, it uses up scraps. You can gift it to somebody. Hats are always nice, especially with the cold season coming back around in the northern hemisphere. So anyway, long story to talk about that hat, but I absolutely loved it. And like I said, I already have colors picked out for a second one. I just kind of need the go ahead from La Madre. We'll see. Oh, floss. Okay. Next. Oh, okay. Well, that kind of worked out. I have more knitting finishes. So, socks that I was working on the last time have since been finished. I finished these last week this time, actually. So these first pair are using my Vanilla for Life sock pattern that has yet to be released. I'm thinking that after these two socks that I have on the needles right now, I am going to yeah, anyway, after the two socks, I was thinking exactly how I want to do things, but anyway, after I finish the two pairs that I have on the needles right now, I'm going to start more pairs, of course, but one of them is definitely going to be, at least one is going to be for the toe-up heel flap and gusset version of this pattern, because I really need to get back to writing that. Like this is the top-down heel flap and gusset version of the pattern. So it will be written, okay, the pattern Vanilla for Life socks, it's by me, it's not out yet. It's going to be written so that you can choose to go either top down or toe up, whichever way you like, and it will also have two choices of heel. So it'll have heel flap and gusset, and it will have German short row heel, because those are my two favorite heels to use for socks. Lately I've been on a heel flap and gusset kick though. But yeah, so hopefully, I'm hoping that before the year is out I can publish the pattern, but sock patterns are good for whenever, so you know, stay tuned for that. Y'all will know anyway, because I'm gonna put out a test knitting call. But anyway, so I finished this pair of socks. This pair I did to test out the heel flap and gusset pattern for cuff down as I was writing it. So one sock I was writing I don't remember which one was first now, but one of the socks I was writing the heel flap and gusset pattern into the document as I was knitting, and the second one I was like using the pattern and checking over what I had written. So, which I just thought about, I need to go in and change something, I think. Or maybe I don't. I gotta go back and look because I don't remember. But yeah, I finished them. I am super in love with them. So this yarn is Wee Chickadee Wool Co. in their Willow Song colorway. I love it. All the speckles. It's just gorgeous. So there are those socks. Finished those. And the other pair that I was working on were previously a sock tube. So, oh yeah, I need the phone bit now. So here, here's both socks. Still looking a little wonky from where I added in my heels, but there are the socks. So, okay, phone. Okay, so on my Instagram, come on. Okay, so on my Instagram, I was putting these in my stories as I did them, because I told you all that I would show the process as I split the sock tube. So if you go to my profile, there is a highlight there called sock tube, and you can see a picture of it there, which is what I'm going to walk you through right now so that I don't have to put in pictures. So there is the sock tube. When I finished it, before I started splitting anything, whoops, wrong. So, well, if I could get going in the right direction here. So first step, you want to take your tube. So, right, the striping was all, hold on, I'm just going to have to bring that back up. Okay, so this was all just one thing, right? So without the heels, without the cuffs or anything. I cast on, actually that's wrong. It was this way. I cast on at the toe. So you can do sock tubes, you can do them either cuff to cuff, start with a cuff, end with a cuff, or you could do them toe to toe. For the record, you could also do one giantly long tube and start with a toe or a cuff and then end with the opposite one, because really you're going to end up doing the same thing, cutting in and then adding either a toe or a cuff, whichever one applies. So you could just knit like one, what looks like one giant sock, and then split it and it still end up being two socks. Yeah, basically you need a sock tube. Like, the tube is the more important part. You could also do it where you have a provisional cast on, and or maybe even where you just cast it on and you start stitching and you come back later and you pick up the stitches and add what you need. I am seeing multiple ways in my head right now that you just need a sock tube, basically. But anyway, I usually do mine either cuff to cuff or toe to toe. That's just the way I prefer to do mine. So this one, I started with the toe, increased like you would for a toe-up sock, and then I just kept knitting, 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 knitting. Again, the heels and cuffs weren't here. Knitting, 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 and then when I got to the end of my yarn, I paid attention enough and went back to decreasing for the toe at the other end. And for the record, this is all the yarn that I have left. I don't really see myself actually keeping this. Like, we'll see. It might go into another one of my projects that's up here, actually. But anyway, so you have your tube. You want to find the exact center, which is up here, again, before the cuff was added. You find the exact center of the tube. I usually just like fold it over. I have also done it where I laid it out, got a tape measure, looked at how long it was, and then divided that by 2 and went there on the ruler. Hopefully I didn't say that too fast, sorry. You could do it that way, like measuring where the half mark is. But anyway, so once you find the center, mark it with something, probably a progress keeper is what most people would probably use at that point, I'm assuming. Anyway, that center row, you're not going to put anything there, but the row above it and the row below it, and I should be saying round here, you're going to pick up all the stitches that round above and the round below the center. So this sock, I had 56 total stitches. And you can see here I purposely separated the needles so you could see it is 2 different sets of interchangeable needles. So you're going to pick up 56 stitches on the round above the center, 56 stitches on the round below. So make sure that you do pick up all your stitches. And also try to make sure that they're like in the same row and you don't kind of veer off. That will help as well. Yeah, so find your center. And then this part always like freaks people out. Y'all, it's not a big deal. That is why you want to pick up your stitches before you go to cutting things. So you can see here I am cutting one side of a stitch that's on the center round. So not one of the stitches that's on your needle. Don't cut those. But from that center row in between there, you want to pick up one of the sides of a stitch and just snip it. So you're going to cut your yarn. Don't freak out. It's okay. And then hopefully you can kind of see that there. There's a hole that's starting to form there because I'm using my tapestry needle to pick out. So wherever you cut, obviously you're going to have two ends there. So you want to start picking out that center round. And when you do that, all the way around, it splits your tube because you've taken out a section of knitting that's holding it together, right? I know, it's mind-blowing, seriously. Yeah, so then you have two socks, and you can see I have my ends here that I picked out from that row. So next, grab whatever yarn you're using, whether you're going to use the same exact yarn that you used for the tube, or like I have here, I have a contrast color. Your needle's already in, so add your heel, no, lies. Add your cuff or your toe, whichever applies. Like I said, I did toe to toe. So you could see here both of my, whoops, that's the wrong direction. Both of my socks have toes at the bottom, and the needles are up here ready to add cuffs. So that's what I did. And I like to put a marker. Okay, seriously. I like to put a marker on like the front side, that needle front side, the needle one for people that stitch in magic loop like I do, knit in magic loop rather, so that I know which side I did first. It just makes it easier. If you knit magic loop, it makes sense. You get it. And whoops. So then, after you've done that, you have, you know, basically a sock without the heel. So then, if you don't already know how long your, okay, I thought something was on my foot in the picture, but it was dust on my phone. So if you don't already know how long your foot is, you want to do that. You measure from the tip of your big toe to the back of your heel. And then, so no matter whether you just added cuffs or toes, whatever just happened, you're going to measure from your toe, from the toe, because you're about to add in the heel, so you need to know your foot, not the leg. So measure from the edge of the toe to 2 inches less than your foot length. So my foot is 8.75 inches long. So I measured to 6.75 inches. And then you're going to put a marker in the row that gets you there to whatever measurement you need to be at. That is where you're going to cut in for your heel. And keep in mind, this method, it's called the afterthought method. There are multiple patterns and videos out there about it that you can look up. I do use an afterthought heel. I feel like that's the only way people do these. I could be wrong. Don't take my word on that. I think you could potentially also do a short row heel. I should have tried that. Now I'm kicking myself. I should have tried that. Because afterthought heels, and I know this even though I did this on the tube, afterthought heels don't actually fit my feet all that well. Anyway, I didn't think to do a short row heel until now. But regardless, so once you find where you're cutting in your heel on both socks, you can see again the progress markers are marking that row. You're going to do basically the same thing that you did when you separated the tube, but instead of picking up stitches all the way around the sock, you're only picking up on that back side where you've marked the heel to go. So you're going to pick up one row above and one row below. So you're only picking up half your stitches generally. Some people, when they do afterthought heels, which I tried on this one, but either the sock is too small in general or the afterthought heel just doesn't really fit my foot. I need to wash them, stretch them a little bit, and then like see what happens there. Socks, you generally want your socks to have negative ease, which means, you know, they're a little tight on your feet, they fit well. I don't know. The socks might also just be too small. I might have needed to do 60 stitches. I'm not quite sure. I also only put on one sock for like 3 seconds, so who actually knows? But anyway, again, you're only going to be picking up the stitches on the back half of the needle here. So you can see, did I do it? Oh yes, it's in a red section, so you can't really see the cables over here. But I've done that on both sides. And then again, get your scissors, and on that center bit, not the stitches that you picked up, but the row from the center, you're going to snip one side of the stitch, of just a stitch somewhere in this. I like to do somewhere near the center. That's where, like, that's why I place my markers near the center, because that's where I like to snip, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, I just put my finger right in my glasses. Yeah, so snip, and then 2 different bits here. So you can see I have picked out that center row there on one side, so that's where the heel's gonna go. And then this again is just showing like the beginning of it. You know, make sure your ends, you're picking them out, and that hole will open up. And then again, grab whatever yarn you're using and add in your heel, and then you have socks. So that was a thing. Like I said, I didn't want to have to edit in all the pictures and things. It was easier to just show you guys on my phone. That's not even for this project. Yeah, all of my knitting, except for one project, and I'll talk about it when we get there. So most of my knitting today is on my Chow needles. I love them. Red lace cords, they're fabulous. So yeah, socks, I love it. So this yarn, the little scraggly bit that I have left over, is Patton's Croy socks. Oops. Patton's Croy socks, and it is the gray brown marl colorway. Loved it. And these are sold in 50-gram balls. Most people that I see have to buy 2 skeins to make 100 grams. My feet are small enough that a 50-gram ball of yarn makes a pair of socks for me, which is one of the reasons why I did a sock tube, because I knew that this way, you know, I could measure them to fit my feet, and whatever was left for a leg was whatever was left. So yeah, and then the gray that I use, the contrast color, not quite sure what it is. I think that it's a Super Crafty Girl mini. Not quite sure, and I don't think it's in my Ravelry anywhere, so I don't know for sure. But that was that sock. And then, should we just keep going on the sock train? Because I mean, quite literally, I finished these socks one night so that I could have the needle from them to use to split the tube. So then I started splitting. Yeah, because, okay, so I finished the tube and then was like, let me finish these other socks so I can grab the needle. And then I immediately started splitting the tube and things, because the goal was to get that done so that I could record, and then it just didn't happen, as we've talked about. Yeah, so then immediately, pretty much, when I finished these socks, I had 2 empty sock needles, and that is blasphemous. It does not happen. Yeah, can't be a thing. So I already knew what 2 pairs of socks I was going to start, because I wanted to make sure that this year I actually participated in the hashtag Festive Sock Along 2020, Festive Sock Along 2020. That's the hashtag on Instagram. That is hosted. It's been hosted for a few years now by Amy over at Stranded Dye Works. Well, she's the dyer behind Stranded Dye Works, but her podcast on YouTube is the Stranded Podcast. So yeah, she's been hosting this for a few years, and I never get around to participating. It's from October 1st to December 1st, so basically October and November. And you knit festive socks. Christmas socks, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, winter themed, whatever. Yeah, so I'm doing that this year. Socks are still being kept in my Manacori Creations bag. all the names. I love it. I love getting to shout out all my friends. So, yeah, this was the first sock that I started. Not that it really matters, but just this was the first sock that I started, actually. So this yarn is Gingerbread Man from Hypnotic Yarns. Love it. I actually have a sweater's quantity of this. I need to figure out what bag I started a project with this and I have yet to rip it out. One of these skeins is in a project that I really need to get back to so I can finish it. That would be nice to have for the winter. Anyway, this skein I have always been saving for socks. So here we go. Socks. Like I said, Gingerbread Man colorway. It's a Christmas colorway from 2-3 years ago. Can't remember now. But this is where I am now. I took this to work with me on Friday during servicing. I ended up being one of the people sitting down at the entrance to check people in, which was fabulous because I had actually brought knitting just in case I had a few moments. So like when people come up for servicing, there are people upstairs on each of our floors to open their boxes and everything for them. Yeah, and I thought that I was going to be doing that, and just in case I had a project, in case, it got slow or something. But then I ended up at the desk, so there was even more time to kind of sit and knit in between people coming in because I wasn't like walking back and forth between rooms and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I worked on this. I was somewhere in the leg when I took it to work, and then I got, yeah, I think I was around here. So I was like almost done with my leg. So I did more rows on the leg, and then I did the heel flap and picked up for the gusset, and I think started the gusset on Friday. And I pretty much worked on this all Friday night, and then didn't have time. I worked on it a little bit Saturday before I went to work because it was a late game, so I had like the morning pretty much, and part of the afternoon. So I did work on this then. This is pretty much through Saturday before work. And I'm getting close to the toe, as you can see. I finished my gusset decreases here, and I'm well into the foot. So I need to measure this again to see where I'm at on my foot. But I'm getting close to finishing this first sock. So I need to get back to working on my socks because this is going to be done really quickly. And again, both of these pairs I'm using my Vanilla for Life sock pattern, which you're basically just going to be hearing that anytime that I talk about socks now, really, unless I'm knitting a sock with a pattern, because like I'm writing this pattern, like giving you basically the recipe that I use for all of my socks. So naturally, I'm always going to be knitting my pattern. But yeah, so that's that sock. These are on US 00s, which is 1.75 millimeters. Again, ChowGoo needles. These are their twist minis. They're made for sock sizes and small things. Here's my bag. So there's that one. And then I had mentioned before that I actually happen to have a set of US 00 tips for, okay, US 0 is 2 millimeter. But I actually happen to have a set of these needle tips. Yeah, and I hadn't tried them yet, and I wanted to for socks. So I started a second pair. Like I said, can't be having no empty sock needles. That's not how we do things here. No, blasphemous. Must have socks on these needles. And I mean, I pretty much already know the next two that I'm starting too, so there's that. Sorry, we're tangled. But anyway, and my jewelry is very loud today. Oh, I didn't show you on this other one. Now, I don't remember where I got either of these progress keepers, but this little elephant, I love it. And, well, the progress keeper must be put in opposite of how it wants to lay. But the little elephant has like a blanket or whatever over its back, and if you can see that, it's black, red, and green, which are the colors of Kwanzaa. So, since this one's kind of more obvious Christmas colors, I don't know that you can kind of see it there. It's got green and red speckles over in it. So I put the Kwanzaa-looking, Kwanzaa-esque needle minder, or wrong craft, progress keeper on those socks. And then this one got a pumpkin because it's fall and festive. So yeah, so that one just has a pumpkin. Um, so I also started this pair. This is another Christmas colorway that I got maybe the same year as that other one, not quite sure. It's from Super Crafty Girl, and this is the one that I keep saying I don't know if she's still dying or not, y'all. But I love it. I'm glad that I got a few of her skeins when I did. So this is the logo, Super Crafty Girl, and the colorway is I Ate Your Gingerbread House, which I think is hilarious. That would be me. I would, yeah. I love gingerbread, I think. Have I? Let me not say that. Maybe I'm thinking about, I think I'm thinking about graham crackers. Never mind. Don't listen to me. But gingerbread does look like one of those things that I would actually probably love. I'm not sure if I've actually had it before, but I feel like I would like it. It just looks like something I would love. Anyway, so this pair I am going to be testing out where to start and stop contrast yarns on the heel so that I can write that into the pattern as well. So you know, this is like why it's taking so long for this pattern to come out, because when I am kind of like in the design mode and working on it, like I keep having these ideas which all require me to start a new pair of socks, which I'm not mad about. So yeah, just bear with me, y'all. This pattern is gonna be out eventually, I swear. So this is a mini, one of the minis. I bought like 4 or 5 minis from her when I bought this colorway. And this is one of them that I got, and it matches perfectly. You know, being that it's from the same dyer and I bought them around the same time of year, it makes sense that it would match perfectly, like absolutely perfectly. It's more neon than it's showing up here. This colorway is Holly. Yeah, so this is where these socks are right now. Again, this is the first sock. I am actually thinking that this might get ripped out. I might have to start over and add 4 stitches. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I don't know. I thought that 56 might be enough, but when I put it on, I don't know, like compared to this sock, let me pull some yarn out. So compared to this sock, it's a little skinnier, right? Like you can see that there. I've got them lined up on this side, and it is just a little bit. Okay, so see, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Never mind. I think we're gonna keep going with the 56. Worst case, they're for me, or I will give them to someone else. It's okay. I have plenty of socks. I mean, I will be kind of sad because I love this colorway, but it's gonna be okay. It's fine. Yeah, so, sorry. I'm trying to get the needles to like stop. My yarn's all tangled. So this is where I am right now. This progress keeper I just have here to mark, I think 50 rounds that I've done, just to help me count so that I don't have to keep counting up. I can just count from here now. Yeah, so now that I've kind of looked at them next to that one again, I think I'm just going to keep going with this. I might add in a couple of stitches like near, hold, I have on pajama pants, so pardon that, but like around this part of the foot, I might add a couple more stitches in just to be on the safe side, because if my socks fit tight, like like if I'm possibly going to say, oh, these don't fit, it's usually like that part of the foot that's really tight. Like this area right in here, right? So we shall see. But also it's a heel flap and gusset, so I think I'll be okay. And also, because I've already stuck my foot up here, this is the Anti-Valentine colorway from Stranded Dye Works. She dyed that a couple of years ago now. I remember on that project page, I have a picture of me knitting that at one of my boyfriend's softball games. He plays recreationally. Well, he hasn't in a couple years now. He played a little bit last year, but not that much. And this year, of course, with COVID, didn't happen. But yeah, anyway, I knit these socks out there. They're super long. I love them. I think these are the longest socks I've made. No, that's a lie. Second longest pair of socks I've made. I did make a pair that was taller than this. They weren't knee highs, but they were close. And then I ended up giving them to my mom because she just loved the colorway so much. It's fine, except that dyer stopped dyeing before I finished those socks, so like I can never get the colorway again. It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, here are these socks. They're fabulous. I love them even more because there's a lot of pink, blue, and purple in this, so it makes me think of the bisexual flag. I'm here for it. Yeah, anyway, working on the leg for that. Hopefully, I'll get back to socks, like I said. And we can work on the things so I can start some new socks because, oh, that's nice. Oh, fabulous. And now I have caught the yarn in 2 different places in the zipper. Hold, please. Oh, you poor baby. Okay. It's fine. So, okay, we can do this. We're going to power through. Because basically all the things that I'm showing y'all as WIPs are my plans. So I'm not going to have to talk about plans. I don't have any retail therapy. So, okay, 3 more WIPs. We can do this. I'll show you this one because those other 2 are new. Oops, let's not lose any stitches here. Oh, and I'm in the middle of a row. Okay, well, it's going to be fine. Yeah, it'll be okay. So, my yarn is very tangled. Tangled around, fabulous. Tangled around the other yarn, tangled around the cord, just tangled. It's like a whole thing right now. What is happening? Oh my goodness. Okay. Y'all. Alright, we got it. So, this is the autumn, nope, that's the name of my project page. This is the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Pearl Soho. I showed it to you last time. I had just recently started it then. I've done more work on it. It's not too much. I maybe doubled what I had showed you last time. I forgot to put a progress keeper in it, so there's that. We're going to add this octopus tentacle progress keeper from Cabinet of Curios. Yeah, they haven't, I don't think they're doing anything right now. But this Cabinet of Curios is Joy, who is the Anxious Knitter. Look her up. She has a YouTube channel. She hasn't posted in a while because of life. She has a toddler, an infant, whatever. I don't know. I don't have kids. How do you categorize them? Anyway, she has a little one. So we haven't seen an episode from her in a while, but she is fabulous. She's one of my favorite podcasters. I miss seeing new episodes from her. But yeah, go check her out. Like I said, I don't think they're putting things in their shop right now, but that's where I got that from. I also got some yarn from them that she dyed, I think. Anyway, not the point. That's what Progress Keeper is on here now. This is where I am. It's basically just garter. I am alternating two colors that's not called for in the pattern. And one of the sides you can't really tell. It's super wonky, but you're doing wraps and turns the whole way. I didn't plan very well for this. I'm in the middle of a row, so it's not that easy to see. But the colors I'm using are Autumn Leaves. Yes, it's Autumn Leaves from Rita Mae Yarns. So, I mean, it's pretty true, honestly. Just beautiful fall colorway. And then the other color that I'm alternating it with is Lolo Did It. This is from the Quotable Dumbledore Club this year. And this is Choices. So, yeah. That's basically this project. I think I went up a needle size, so I'm using a US 4 3.5 millimeter on this project. I love it. It's just garter back and forth. I haven't really worked on it in this last week. It got worked on the week, like that first week after the last video, but yeah, hopefully I'll get back to it. We'll see. I have a progress keeper in it this time, so we'll actually know how much work I've done. So the same day that I recorded the last episode, I started a little baby sweater for one of my best friends because she had her baby in September, as planned. The baby was due in September anyway. But she had the baby. The family's doing great. And yeah, I need to get back to some baby stuff because I'm gonna be the late auntie always. That's fine. I'm not mad about it. That's how I live my life. But like, I gotta get on this. So I am making a. Plus, I think I said last time, I've just been in a sweater knitting mood. I want to get back to knitting some sweaters, and I have a plan to knit one for myself next month. So we'll see. I potentially will start two, but we're gonna go with one for right now because I need free needles to be able to start things, or just buy new needles. There's that too. But anyway, I decided to start the Flax Light pattern. So this is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's part of their Simple collection. If you're a beginner knitter, seriously check it out. There's a blanket pattern, there are socks, there are sweaters, there's a hat, there's a cowl. I think there's also mittens. That might be all the things. But it's the Simple collection by Tin Can Knits. Um, I'm pretty sure they're Canadian. Yeah, but they make fabulous patterns, and all that entire Simple collection is free. Um, Seriously, look at them, y'all. I've made the hat, the cowl, the hat which is barley, the cowl which is oats, and I've made the flax worsted, and I've now made the flax light. I think that's it. I haven't done any of the other ones yet. But anyway, the pattern for the flax sweaters, they're designed to have a like garter ridge panel on the sleeves. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing it without the garter. Again, Mama Ladywing's making decisions for me because I couldn't decide, so I just did it without. Yeah, and this is where it's at right now. So you can see it's looking kind of weird because I started binding off the body and I just haven't gone back to it. I have almost half of the body bound off, so I need to go back and finish binding off the body, and then we will pick up sleeves and be on our merry way. This is so stinking cute. Plus it's already cold up there. They live in Tennessee, which is where I was raised. So, yeah, it's already cold up there. Like, they're also having a hot spell right now, like we are, but I can guarantee you they're like 10 degrees less than we are. Anyway, yeah, so Flex Light, the yarn that I'm using, all my yarn is getting tangled today. It's a thing. So the yarn that I'm using is the Woolen Homestead. I saw my tag over here earlier. They are no longer dyeing yarn, which makes me just really sad, because I love, love their yarn and their colorways. There were a few that I still really wanted. I had a lot of their colorways. But it's okay. It's fine. They're doing great. They still do. I will link their knitting podcast below. Yeah, it's a husband and wife team, Tiffany and Ethan, and yeah, they're great people. So check them out. Unfortunately, like I said, they aren't dyeing yarn, but it's okay. They still have. Tiffany is a fabulous knitter, so she has great things to show. Or crafter, because she also does crochet. And does she also spin? I can't remember. I might need to go watch some back episodes. But anyway, the Woolen Homestead. This is their Hogsmeade Holiday colorway. So yes, it's a Harry Potter colorway. I had this set aside to make a sweater, and I knew it was probably going to be this sweater for the baby for a while because it's a Harry Potter colorway. It's very fall-ish, which is when the baby was born, and we're big Potterheads. It's three of us, like my best friends. It's me and then two more. So yeah, I had to because it was Harry Potter. I just had to. And I don't have the stitch marker on the needles, obviously, but I had one. These I got from Crochet 1 Knit 2. They're now Area 51 fibers, so now they dye yarn. Yeah, so at the time when I got these, I got a progress keeper, as you can see here, and then I also got a stitch marker, like the ones that go on the needles. Yeah, so naturally everything had to be Harry Potter, so those are the ones that I was using. But yeah, a little baby sweater. I still have to wash it and lay it out when I'm done, and hopefully I will get a few more things knit for the baby before I manage to go home again, and see them. Or hopefully see them. It might even just be a, hey, I'm sitting these things down on the doorstep and we just talk from like dozens of feet away because COVID. Yeah, so I think this is the 6 to 12 month size, so that hopefully the baby can like wear it through the winter, since I'm potentially now not going to be giving it to them until Thanksgiving, or looking more like Christmas. I wanted the baby to be able to wear it. So instead of doing 0 to 3 months, or instead of doing the 3 to 6 months, I'm doing I think it is a 0 to 6 month size. And then the second size in the pattern is 6 to 12 months. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, and Tin Can Knits is a great designer also because, like, the flax patterns, they go up to, I want to say it's 6XXL now, or 6XL. I don't remember how you write the size, but I think they added 2 new sizes. Like, I think it used to be 4XL, and now it's 6XL that the pattern goes up to. So, I mean, you could literally knit it for anybody. They're fabulous patterns. So, that has been started. I literally could have had it done by now. I just, of course, got distracted and haven't gone back to it. And then this one, I'm going to show the pattern and kind of what it looks like, or what it looks like rather. Okay. So this is the Squishy Dot Cushion by Kate Celine, and you can see there how to spell her name. It's a free pattern. All these free patterns, I'm here for it. It's a free pattern, so if you see her name up here, Kate Celine, if you type that in and then .com, it will take you to her website. She has multiple free patterns on there. Check them out. So like I said, this is the Squishy Dot Cushion. And yeah, so you're seeing both sides of her cushion that she made. So this is one side, and then if you flip it over, that's the other one. Okay, I saw this pattern on the New Leaf podcast. I want to say her name is Carmen. I think that's right. The New Leaf podcast. Wait. Okay. Hold, please. Okay. I knew that I needed to write something down to link, and I couldn't remember what it was, so I had to pause so I could really think about it. Anyway, so I saw this being talked about and made on a recent episode of the New Leaf podcast with Carmen. Yeah, she is a knitting or maybe just crochet. I can't remember. No. She is a knitting and crochet pattern designer. She's fabulous. You should totally watch her. She lives in Europe because I don't remember the exact country right now and I don't want to get it wrong. But anyway, she was showing hers and I was like, I should make one of those. That would be like super cute to have sitting around. And then when I started it, I was like, actually, I would like to have another like giant pillow on my bed. So I'm sure that a lot of you have seen, especially if you have kids that have gone to college or whatever, because that's when I got mine. The pillows that you can sit on your bed that look like armchairs, so it's like a giant like chair back, and then it has like the two arms on the side, so you can like be sitting and lounging in bed or on the couch or wherever you put it. Sorry, strings from my pajama pants. Anyway, I had a red one for the longest time, and I didn't really use it all that much. And a couple years ago now, when boyfriend was still living with me, he had a beanbag chair that he used like for video games and stuff, and he needed more stuffing to like get it set over in there right. And that pillow was already like, I needed to sew it up because the seams were coming undone, and so you could see part of the stuffing. And he was like, hey, do you mind if I just, and I was like, no, not really, like I don't really use it, go for it. So he just took all the stuffing out of that and like put it in his beanbag chair, which is still doing just great. With all the extra stuffing in it now. But anyway, when I sit in bed every once in a while, I don't like using the pillows that are on the bed. It just, yeah. Honestly, they're kind of flat, and the way the bed is set up, like the headboard is not flush against the wall, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, I was like, dude, you should actually make yourself a giant pillow for the bed. That would be a good idea. Plus, it would use up even more scraps because I'm going to need to make the pillow bigger than if it was just like sitting on the couch, right? So I grabbed, and I'm using the size needle. Yep, I'm using the size needle that's called for in the pattern, which is a US 6 4mm. And this is the project that I referenced earlier that's not on Chavooz. I am using my Clover Takumi interchangeable needles. They are wood. This was the first interchangeable set that I had. You can find them at Michael's and Joann's. Pretty sure Joann's has them also. They must, because that's where I got mine, was Joann's. Or maybe I got it. They sell them in the big box stores, is my point. Yeah, so anyway, I have bags on my yarn organizer in my bed. I'm jerking my head. Through this wall is where the organizer is. It's like a big IKEA shelf. Anyway, I used to have like scraps of yarn all over my table because when I would finish the projects, I would talk about them on the channel, and then I would sit them on the table, and they would sit there for forever. And eventually I went through and I was like, I'm tired of all this yarn sitting up here. There's still some yarn up here for the record, but anyway, it got put into giant gallon-sized Ziploc bags. It actually, all the yarn up here actually filled up 3 of them. One of them is at my boyfriend's apartment because I have a corner-to-corner blanket that I started with that bag. I don't have it here to show. At some point, I'll bring it. I'll bring it from over there or something so that y'all can see it. But just YouTube corner to corner, or C2, the number 2 and C. That's how we shorthand it. But just look up corner to corner crochet blanket. That's what I'm doing. There are several good tutorials out there for it. So one of the gallon size bags is over there for that project. And the other 2 were here. And so I've just been like picking. Kind of show you what's over in here. So I've just been picking yarns as I go, just whatever I'm feeling like putting together. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what yarns are in here because in the long run it's not going to matter. I have already finished 3 different scraps in here. So yay, I'm cleaning out some of the yarn, and there are some more like really tiny scraps over in there, and I'm gonna try to pull from those so that they can just disappear already because there's just so little of some of those colors in there. But anyway, this is what it's looking like so far. So in the center here, and then it works out. And this project you're holding 2 strands together. So that's why the scrappy thing really just, it's awesome. I love it. And then you can see the edge here, we're getting into darker colors. So these are the 2 yarns that I am using right now. So I will tell you like what these are because, one, because I know, or really I know most of the yarns that are in here. But I will tell you these because I'm holding them up in front of your face. So this one is Antissa ... Patient, which is a Rocky Horror inspired colorway from Dragon Horde Yarn. So this was a Halloween colorway 2 years ago, maybe, I think. And then this is Campfire S'mores from Rock and String Creations. So it's you can tell it's a self-striping. So can I get it to where you can see it? So you can kind of see there's like a red, orange, yellow section and gray over in here. That's the campfire. And then I'm not quite sure that you can see it, but part of the, I don't have the socks. Hold on, I'm just gonna go get the socks because I love this colorway, like the brilliance behind the stripes. So hold on. So this is one of the socks out of the pair that I made with that colorway. So there's the striping sequence. So you can see the s'mores and then the campfire, right? So this is the fire and this is the smoke. I love it. Is that not brilliant? I love self-striping colorways when they're like, oh yeah, I can see it. Like the graham cracker, the marshmallow and the chocolate, and like the campfire bit makes sense, and it's just, I love it. So anyway, that's that colorway. That's what I'm using. So I'm holding these 2 together right now, and it's coming along great. And then there are spots where you increase. I'm just using a bunch of my little light bulb stitch markers there, and the beginning of round marker. So I have a progress keeper also like this, and then this is the stitch marker that I got because I have 2 boobs. So I wanted 2, so I just got 1 in each style. But this is from Silly Sheep Designs. It was from her Tits Out collective when all of that was happening a couple years ago now in the knitting community. Yeah, so this is from the Tits Out collective movement, and I love it. And yes, I got boobs that looked like mine because I'm black, so why would I buy Beige booth. Anyway. uh, is that it? Oh my gosh, y'all, I think we're done. I'm like, okay, let's grab the next thing to like talk about now. No, I'm done, which is good because this is the third video clip part of this episode and it's at an hour and a half, which means this is totally a 2 hour long episode. So I hope you saw the timestamp beforehand and, you know, ate dinner, maybe got some popcorn, had some crafting because you totally just got a movie. But this is also why I really am thinking like the weekly thing is working. You know, when I need to skip weeks or whatever, like I will. It's not that big a deal, but this is what happens when I have all the crafty mojo and I skip weeks. Like there's just so much to talk about. And all the things, like I have to try to remember things that like I want to say to y'all, so there was a lot. Anyway, okay, I need to clean all of this up now, and I'm gonna get back to some crafting. I don't even know what I'm gonna work on because now that I've been holding up all my knitting projects and showing y'all, I'm like, well, let's get back to knitting. Like I need to be working on some stuff. So we'll see what I do. We'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out after I get things back where they go. How about that? So thank y'all so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things. Seriously, everyone says it, but it's true. The community and the interaction is why I keep putting videos up, you know, why I keep doing this. I love getting to know y'all, and let's be honest, I love showing my projects and talking about them because I just love them. I love the crafts. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. I hope that all of you are doing as well as you can be right now and taking time for yourselves. Be nice to yourself. I think it's fair to say we're all going through stuff right now, and it's hard. So be kind to yourself. Self-care, be kind to others, all those things. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Love is love. All the things. I'm sure a lot of you watch Michelle Bindi, the whole like the thing that she's like repeating at the beginning of all her videos now. I love it. I can't commit to like saying things like that in every video because I will not remember. And I know that about myself to not say that I'm gonna do it, but yes to all of it. Love is love, science is real, kindness is everything, humans aren't illegal, Black lives, trans lives, brown lives matter. Yeah, feminism is for everyone. So there's that. And if those things don't sit right with you, well, you don't have to tell me about it. That's fine. You don't have to tell me about it. Okay, so before we get any more slightly aggressive on here, I have lots of opinions about those things. Yeah, so I hope you're all doing well, enjoying your crafts, all the things, and I think I'm going to get a vlog started tomorrow. I've been in the mood to vlog all month, so yeah, I think I'm gonna start a vlog this week. And I have off this weekend, so you'll get to see hopefully like a little bit of the football setup or something during the weekend. It'll be interesting is my point. There will be something other than crafting. I know I'm gonna make dinner for Saturday, just a recipe I make all the time, so it's not anything like super fancy, but I like to have something like kind of nice on game days. When I was still living with my parents, and whenever I am there with them during the football season, they generally, sometimes they'll cook, but generally it's like a day where we treat ourselves to going out and getting takeout or fast food or something from outside of the house. And I mean, you know, um, I mean, between COVID and just like financial struggles, as I'm sure a lot of you can kind of understand right now, between one of those issues. um, yeah, but you know, we can't always do that. So lately it's been us like cooking, which I know y'all, a lot of y'all will understand that too. There's been a lot of increased cooking and kitchen time this year, which I think is doing us all some good. We're kind of finding peace with it for the most part, from the people that I watch and listen to talk about it. So, okay. I know y'all love the rambling, but enough. It's gonna take this forever to upload. Thank goodness I don't have to watch myself back. I've written down all the links because I can't watch myself. I listened to myself the first time for 2 hours. Can't watch this back again. So anyway, let me stop stalling. Enjoy your crafting, enjoy life, all the little moments, all the little things that we have to smile at and be happy about in the midst of all this chaos and crazy. So I love you all, and I will chat to you soon. Happy crafting, y'all.